Hello, everyone. Welcome. And I don't know if I haven't spoken to Martin. Well, I haven't spoken to anyone for a while because I was at Rhinebeck and it was just crazy. So I don't know if Martin is joining, if he could get from work early. I know it's just 5 in England now, so he might join us a bit later, or he might not join us. But I have Kitey here today, so I'm gonna spotlight Kitey and spotlight myself. Just unmute yourself for a second.
Hello.
Hi, so we missed you in the couple previous things. Tell us about you've done also shows, so you were busy. Tell me about the progress that you've made.
Yeah, I missed a couple because I was at Knitting and Stitching Show and other things in London, and so I'm about a week behind. But I've got 2 more rows to do of Clue 2. So that is the beast as it is at the moment. And I kind of played around with the brioche row and brought the contrast forward and sort of mixed it around a bit because you get kind of extra tones going on, like the orange kind of sitting in the back looks darker and then really pops here. But I have also finished adding all the beads. So I've got 3 beads going on in this bubble row, 2 in here, and then the final 3
you did beads on all the bubbles.
Beads on all of those bubble stitches.
So did you put like 3 beads on each? How many beads are there?
I put 3 on each for the top and the bottom row, and then just 2 in the middle one.
Yeah.
Just to play around with that. And I used my trusty 0.5 millimeter hook.
Yeah.
Because it fits the beads really easily. So, yeah.
Well, can I tell you something? I've been enjoying your yarn tremendously, this project, because like if you look at this part, right, like it adds, like, because of the complexity of the color, it actually like adds a lot of interest to each spot where it's only that yarn. So I'm loving it because like I've seen there is actually very interesting. I hope Dorothy will join us today later, because I've seen what Dorothy did, and she did, you know how in the 3rd clue, have you looked at the 3rd clue?
I have looked at the 3rd clue.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a plan for that too. So
okay. So in the 3rd clue, you have those triangles, right? And what she did for the complementary color, okay, she just joined. So let me add her. Dorothy, can we add you to the hi? I was just talking because like I saw your project and I was blown away. So you did this interesting thing with the triangles where the first half is like different shade than the other 2 sections of the short rows.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
So I'm already wearing mine.
Right.
First of all, so you're talking about the brioche, and I'm sure everybody was going through oh wow, I decided to do the mohair dare, but it becomes very subdued if it's the contrasting color. It just sits way in the background. So for the next turn, I thought, okay, I'm going to substitute my main color and do the mohair dare instead, because I liked looking at the back of it more. So I did that. So then Clue 3, I decided to, you have your 3 segments. I started with my mohair, then I marled it with my contrasting color, and then I went it alone. And then I also made it stockinette so that you got that further differentiation from this. And also because stockinette has a different gauge than a garter stitch, it does kind of bubble out,
right?
Which kind of harkens back to the bubbles. So I was very happy with how it turned out.
No, I saw it and I was like, well, why didn't I see it first? Because it's beautiful, right? But having said that, so I just basically started with the 3rd clue on the plane pretty much. So this is the third clue. But because of your yarn, it almost has that effect of like you can see all different, because like every time there is different section of short rows, it starts with different spot and it starts with different like colors in the yarn, and you like really can see how it's like it adds. I apologize for my connection and for the light and everything, because as you guys know, I'm actually not home. So I'm visiting my daughter in North Carolina, and I couldn't even get on Wi-Fi of the hotel. I don't know why it's giving me trouble. So I'm on the hotspot on my phone, and I hope I don't have my mic with me. So it's like you have to be gentle with us today about the quality of this video.
That's good.
But good. Like, I actually think that like the variegated yarn, like the one I'm using, which is Kitey's yarn, really plays nicely in this shawl if you use it in combination with the solid yarn.
It's beautiful because your yarn is cooling in the best possible way.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just the marriage of the perfect. I don't mean this is going to sound really like I'm not this person, but sometimes it's just the perfect skein for the perfect project, or the right skein for the perfect project. You know what I mean? Like it's given it its moment to let the colors play. So yeah, I'm really super happy that you love it.
No, I love it. And I also like how it's like, it's sort of, okay, I talked to Steven Weber, and he's going to hate me for like telling everybody what he told me in private, but he was like, that clue is just tedious, right? And I find like, yeah, it is. But it's also like, if you have a beautiful yarn, it sort of makes it less so, because you like admiring, you're stopping to admire what's happening with the yarn. Or if you're like doing some variations of that, like it sort of like keeps you interested. And because, I mean, I memorized the pattern like after like the first 4 triangles, so it's like I don't have to constantly look at the pattern, so it's like it makes it also soothing. I mean, honestly, like it was perfect project for the plane knitting, and it got a lot of attention on the plane, let me tell you, because there was like the whole row of ladies sitting next to us who was like, this is the most intricate thing I have ever seen, and they were like so into this shawl. So it was a conversation starter for sure. Sabine, do you want to join us also? Just unmute yourself.
I think I just did. Okay, yeah. With respect to the contrast, the contrast color, and this being a variegated yarn, I had the same thing, but harder, because my color combination in the variegated yarn is more distinct, and it literally stripes in 3s, which was like, and I'm going to show you, it does this.
Wow.
Wow.
But it's almost like a design feature, right? Like it's not.
No, and it's just amazing. It did this to the very end, and I was like, what on earth is happening here? And I did the first, like the beginning wedge with the main color, and then the second wedge, and I saw the striping, and I was like, I'm gonna frog this and try to do this the other way around, to have like the outward, which would be the main color, try with the variegated, and it didn't stripe that way. So I just refrogged the thing again, and I then started, and I randomly put like the mohair in. I think I have 3 of them. Yeah. And I was like staring at my thing, and I hated the knitting. I'm very sorry. This is the worst thing that has ever happened to me. The flipping back and forth, and it was terrible. I can do 6,000 stitches in a row, but what was it?
Oh, by the way, like if somebody is interested, I just saw somebody posted that this clue 3 had 14,966 stitches.
Fabulous.
How many was it? 21, 20, 20,
14,966.
Like in one row. It's like, I think it's 16, max 17 when you pick up the one stitch from. and all this turning around. I was like, I just hate this. I hate this with a
And I
passion.
have to say, am I muted? Oh, I have to say that I was about 2/3, a little bit further than that. And I'm just merrily doing this, or maybe not merrily, but I'm doing it. And then I realized, I better just make sure I am correct. And sure enough, I was 7 stitches off. So I had to do some fudge. Luckily, I was able to fudge it in a.
Same happened to me. I literally lost one double, and I basically, it doesn't really matter because the stretch is fine.
Yeah.
But somehow, and I don't even know. I tried to count this out. I tried really. I have like an Excel sheet was like 3 stitches, the one with the striping ones, and it's like I don't even know where on earth I lost, or I basically lost the stitches. It happens. I've seen people put stitch markers in.
I actually have to talk about it. So I was one of those people who put the stitch markers. And right before I put that stitch marker, I read somewhere on Facebook, somebody was saying that this lady who is a friend told me that since she's been knitting for whatever long time, she never uses stitch markers. Stitch markers are only for the beginners. Let me tell you, that stitch marker made it so much easier for me. I don't consider myself an absolute beginner in knitting, but it just makes it more meditative. You don't have to remember, you don't have to be on your sharpest mind. You can be tired and knit it with stitch markers. So stitch markers,
you're over. That's it.
Yeah. I find it actually really helpful in this particular clue, if anything.
I actually read about the stitch markers when I was 2/3 through, and I was like, oh, I should have done this. Damn it. But I didn't. So
and Catherine
thank you for the tip, because
stitch markers are your friends. So yeah, for sure.
Thank you for the tips, because I'm about to start clue 3 tonight. So
yeah,
I shall be using stitch markers.
all you need is just one stitch marker, and that stitch
And
marker
actually,
has been in my teeth more times than anybody wants to mention, because every time you turn, I would just stick it in my mouth and then reuse it. So we've been intimately familiar with this stitch marker.
Oh no, for the counting. They have stitch markers on the 3s, and I think it's 18s.
Yes.
Yes,
that's what I
the 18s, the 3s, so that you don't run over your stitch count in the I don't know, the reverse one, the where you pick up all the stitches. The outer ones are easy because it's 3 stitches, but in the inverse, I think I just managed to put in rows that weren't there.
I think it's a forgiving clue in that respect. You can sort of find it a little bit. Yeah.
It's just you can't really lose 20 of them.
Right.
I counted them halfway through, and it's I think I'm on short, and I was. I don't know where I lost the stitches, but it's fine. It stretches out fine.
Yeah.
So,
Martin actually messaged me in the week, and he said that he'd seen a tip about this clue, and I'm now telling you, and it's probably too late for all of you, and I'm sorry. But he suggested using a DPN, or somebody suggested using a DPN, because then you can just slide backwards and forwards, and you don't have to do the whole turnaround thing.
It's way too late because I don't even have DPN.
Yeah, 14,000 stitches too late, as it turns out. But
right.
I don't have long enough DPNs. I have not in that needle size. My 3.5s are too short, and I was just really scared because I did lose at stages late in the night. I lost stitches, and to pick them up in that pattern with the garter stitch and the pickup stitches and the short rows and all this kind of stuff, it is really, 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 really bad.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's have Enrique join us also.
I'm gonna mute myself. Bye.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
Hi. I want to say something about the stitch count and the things about, am I off or not? I think Stephen's way is don't stress about it, because I didn't have had this the exact stitch count, and my end was like this, so I had to fudge because my last main color doesn't add up when I have to want to not, to have a neat thing. So I did only the I chord in my main, and I don't know, but you don't see it. And when you
Can you just
have done
hold it
the
for a second? Like,
sketch,
I can see it.
okay, well, I started off very good, but this one I did
I
4.
did 4 instead of
And
2.
I don't think, oh, I have to do it again because you don't see that. So I thought, with my mathematic and logic mind, I think, oh, well, then I do the last one on the same height of the shawl, one less repeat. But nay, that doesn't do that. So at the end, I had now this, but I don't mind
Yeah.
because Steve is all about have fun.
Well,
It's
it's
not
also
like
I feel like there is so much going on in this show, so the one triangle is really not gonna be in
yes.
that note.
So I think that people have to relax because it has fun. It's the beginning of the festive season,
Right.
and we all in it, and we all are some experienced knitter, not that experienced knitter, but it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, it becomes a really Stephen West. I was lost with the 2 previous years because I didn't find it like a real Stephen West kind of thing. The disaster of last year we don't mention,
Right.
but the one before was the twisting turns, and I didn't feel like a real Stephen West show. I've done a lot of shows, but
Well,
this one is really.
let's talk a little bit about it. Like, what's for you a real Stephen West? Like, what characteristics are you talking about?
Well, I don't like the sample shows. I did the Hyben Knit Along last year because I really liked the Aurora Cabin. I don't know the
Yeah, that's a beautiful show. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a beautiful show. It's cohesion. But I don't like the sample shows. But you understand, like when we do stitch this and then we do stitch that. This one is graphic and free flowing, and I think that's Stephen West. So I'm very happy with this year because I feel like the Stephen West show.
Those are my legs.
What's your prediction about next clue? Like, what do you?
Well, I was hoping, and I already said it last time, that we go up. I really like Isabel's because with wedges you can do a real up color,
right?
Like how big you want, because when you do like things in like bones and wedges, then you can get that. But I don't predict Stephen's mind because it's always something different. But we're gonna go with the other side, and I hope it's gonna be like a color. But I don't. I think it's gonna be, and then up on the shoulders on each side.
Oh, that's an interesting. Like I would love to see that. That might be an interesting show. We haven't had.
Well, you keep it on your shoulder, but then like
a shoulder.
This part like over the shoulder,
right?
And then this part over the shoulder,
right?
I hope so, but I hope for the color.
Are you done with clue 3, or you still have some?
Yeah. This week I thought off, not because it was less knitting. Somebody said it last week. Well, the third one is Miss Polko said it. So the most of the time, the third one is like ketchup. For me, it was, but not because it was not a lot of knitting. It was a lot of knitting, and I also use DPNs.
Oh, you did use DPNs. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Catherine, do you want to join me?
Sure. I am only partway through, just over halfway through Clue 3 because I had something on Saturday, and I decided to finish Clue 2 symmetrically instead of flopping the contrast color. And then when I was looking at starting Clue 3, I saw Linda Barbonitz on Instagram and how she did hers totally in mohair. So then I got inspired. And so I went, so this is like a quarter. So I'm now, I have a kind of a design going on, and you can see this is the contrast color, and that's what it's doing naturally. And I went and I found some black mohair in my stash, and I started with the purple, and I got, yep, this is good. This is good. I like this. And then in this one here, before the center was going to be, this is the center now. And so it's going to repeat backwards. I had marled. I had put one black and one purple, and it kind of picked up this, but when I laid it down to sort of admire my work before bed, it was jarringly not going with the contrast with the two patches on either side. And I thought maybe once I get to the other side and have the matching one, it will look better. And then I thought to myself, no, I don't think you like it. And you're just going to have to undo like another 7 of those patches. And most of them are mohair.
Right.
So I had to, so I stopped and I had to undo about 4 patches. 3 of them were mohair. And one of them was black mohair. So that was, and I had to unknit because otherwise the mohair gets tangled and you can't reuse the yarn if you have to cut it. So I ended up doing most of it at work because I've got a really nice desk light that just glows, shines down, and the weight of the shawl is on my desk, and it made it much faster to undo. But I then did it, and I cut back up, and now I'm going down the other side, and that other side will match this side. And some of the blacks are contrast color, and some of the blacks, the ones that don't have speckles in them, are black mohair.
Yeah. Sabina said it looks beautiful, and Kitey said it looks like shells. So
that's what I thought it looked like, scallops. Somebody was like, "Oh, I don't like triangles." I said, "It's not triangles, it's scallops."
Yeah.
It's a scalloped border. And that was what came to me when I saw Linda's. It was like, though, that's a beautiful, and I love the drape of the mohair. So I have the angst of not being exactly like Stevens because I've seen some of them and I like them. And if I was going to do, I have that second kit. If I do another one, I will do it like using main color, contrast color to have the symmetrical border. But right. I'm really loving the way the mohair is going, and especially the contrast color next to the purple mohair. I think it's just beautiful.
Well, I know that you had 2 kits when we started. Do you have, like, now that you're seeing everybody's clues out there, do you have any regrets starting with this kit and not the other one?
No, I love these colors. I have to, every time before I go to bed, I lay it out and I look at them and I go, oh, they're so beautiful. So no, I don't have any regrets about the kit. I use the stitch marker faithfully. There were two episodes where I didn't, knit 2 stitches, place marker, and I got buggered up. And I'm the kind of person that I have to, like, this is now going to be a symmetrical shawl. So after I got to that middle square, I counted my stitches, and I have stitch markers on this part here every 20. And then a big neon one every 100. So I went and made sure that I was halfway through and that I had, and I did the math of how many sections I had left and how many of the Clue 2 row so that I could make sure that I was going to end up at the end where I was supposed to be. So that's the chemist in me, I guess. It's just like if it's symmetrical, it has to be symmetrical. And I would have undone it. I'm not tucking in the ends though, because I want to wait and see what clue 4 is, just in case. Because if I decide I hate it, I will unknit that border and do a symmetrical. I just don't think I will. I think I like the fluff.
I think I'm gonna finish I started putting the loose ends in, tucking them in at the beginning, but then it's it takes forever and a half. And then when I was on the plane, I didn't feel like, littering the plane basically. So I figure I'm gonna wait until I get home and do it then. And meanwhile, I'll just try to catch up with you guys and finish that clue 3 at some point this week, hopefully. That's my hope, is that I'm flying on Friday to Florida, so I'm hoping that plane to Florida will allow me to finish the 3rd clue, and maybe over the weekend I can start a little bit here and there on the next clue. So I'm
hoping to have clue 3 done by early Saturday morning, and I'm hoping that there's nothing Saturday right now my Saturday and Sunday are looking clear. Right. So that's my fingers crossed it stays that way.
Well, my Saturday and Sunday and Monday don't look clear because I'm going to Florida to celebrate my birthday with my parents, and they invited all their friends to celebrate my birthday. So it's going to be intense. I don't know how much knitting I'm going to get done until next week, but we'll see. There's a couple of plane rides that I'm hoping to catch up a little bit. Kitey, Enrique asked if you shipping to Netherlands and how much the shipping is. So if you can comment in the comments. I know that you ship to US, so I'm guessing you would ship to Netherlands as well, but just answer in the comments. Loni, do you want to join us?
Hello.
Hi. I'm sorry. I think I'm mispronouncing your name. I think it was...
No, it's okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
How is your progress going?
I thought it will finish, but no, I have still a lot of things, and I have put stitch markers in.
Okay, so you're finishing clue 2 right now, right?
Yes, and I'm starting clue 3, and it's 3/4. I need I'm more than halfway.
It's
with the clue 3.
I love your color combination. It looks really
yes, this is the back, and just hold on, and this is my front.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
It's really beautiful. Yeah,
thank you.
So how are you enjoying clue 3?
I'm not so fond of it because I like the shape, really, I really like the shape, but a lot of twists and turns, but no turns, not twisted, but yeah. But you were talking about the DPN, and I'm not on needle 3.5. I have a 3.25, and I don't have that in DPN. So I took my needle and just a little one, and then on the end I put this one on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a stopper, and then I have a small DPN needle. So right. I just put that on, and then I have the long cable here.
Oh, that's very clever, actually.
Yeah. So then I don't have to think about a DPN. At the beginning, I just had this one right on here at the bottom, but it was always irritating my my fingers, so that's why I put the little wire on.
Yeah, mine is actually a complete nightmare because I have the longest needle possible, and that's the only set of needles that I took with me. So this is what I'm using, but I occasionally poke my husband on the plane, but he hasn't been complaining much.
Yeah, and I was reading on the Reveille that you could put stitch markers on, so I did that right away, all the way across. So I was I don't have to think about counting or anything. I'm just knitting, knitting and turning all the way. So yeah. But
are you tucking the loose ends in as you go, or are you gonna wait until the end and then do it?
You can't see it, but I've waved in my ends here on the back, and it's yeah. No, I've not waved in. They are following here.
Yeah.
So yeah. No,
okay.
No cutting the thread. No.
So you like just hiding it? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I'm just hiding it.
Clever, yeah.
Yes, I'm just hiding it in the I-cord.
Right. That's actually a very clever idea. I wish I thought of it before because that would save a lot of Okay. Nikki, do you wanna join us also?
I've been getting sick, so I actually started this 3 days late. I think clue 1 I finished 1 day late, and then clue 3 I finished 3 days late. And so I've got 6 or 7 done. That's, not very many. I've been trying not to get sick. And while I did do tooth 1 and tooth number 2 with the stitch markers, it was driving me absolutely beyond bonkers. So I started just counting, like, for the one, I was like, 14, 12, 10, 8, 6. And then I was done. And then the other one is like, the 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. Like I couldn't, with the turning, it was driving me so crazy that I was like, I would rather count every time on the counting side than have to deal with that stitch marker too. So it seems to be working okay. Each tooth has 3 wedges, and each wedge takes me about 8 or 9 minutes. So pretty much like 30 minutes a tooth. I just figure I'll be here till, next year making teeth.
Right. Are you like enjoying it overall? The whole show? Do you have it?
I am. I'm actually surprised that I managed to keep up with the whole thing, because my twists and turns was in timeout for over a year and a half, and I only managed to finish that in the months leading up to this by forcing myself to work like 20 minutes a day. You're going to do something on this till it's done. So I don't love my color choice on clue 1. And so I switched to a different contrast color, but now I have to tie it in with the teeth up here. And I'm like, it's just okay. Like, I think it will end up being a lovely shawl, but it's not my favorite colors.
So what is the shawl that you don't 100% love? Like, do you gift it to somebody who loves it, or?
Yeah, the first year that I learned how to knit, I did not keep not one thing for myself. I was more about the process, the learning, get it off my needles, get it out the door, like give it to anybody so I'm like, it was out of sight, out of mind. I was done with it. So I may wash and block it, and then if I don't love wearing it, I'll definitely get it, because
right.
It's
yeah.
I did run out of my yarn at the end of clue 2.
On the
I was about
colors?
7 grams short.
Okay.
No, on my main color. So I started my clue 3 at 93 grams instead of 100. So
I'm curious how it's gonna go with the yarn, because somehow I was really concerned with twists and turns, because I thought I'm gonna run out, and somehow I had enough, like just enough, but enough. So I'm hoping that my tension somewhat fits Steven's tension, and it's gonna be enough. We'll see.
Well, he said something in one of his videos that's made me think that he might just finish off that initial edge with an I-cord, and then, like he said, and then we'll use up the rest of your yarn. So I'm like, maybe it's just something where you can just add to it till you're done, So I didn't figure there was going to be a lot more to the shawl except for an edge on the other side.
Right, and he sort of hinted that you can customize the size, so hopefully perhaps it's going to be enough.
I'm excited. I just keep trying to keep up, and I'm close, so I'm good with that.
Right. I mean, you and I both, so we sort of we'll get there. Eventually, we'll get there.
Yes.
Actually, I wanted to run a question by you. I'm going to ask Hannah to join us, but somebody suggested that perhaps Martin should interview me, but I was thinking, what if you guys interviewed Martin and I? And if you think that's a good idea, just put it in the comments, and maybe like at the end of the MKAL, we'll do a special session where you get to ask us any questions you might have about us. So let me know if you think that's an idea worth doing. Hannah, do you want to join us?
Yes.
Hi.
Hello. Yeah, I'm done with my clue 3, and I really liked it. But maybe I can say I had the luck. I was on sick leave last Thursday and Friday, so I had much time to knit it.
Right.
So Friday evening it was done.
Did you find it difficult at all, or time consuming, or did you like it?
I think it was really recognizable. So after 3 or 4 wedges, like you, Arena, I was able to have it in my mind and repeat it. Yeah, and I didn't use a stitch marker because it was me too fiddly to put it somewhere else, and put it back. So I was eyeballing that there are even 2 stitches to the last gap, and that worked fine for me.
I find, you know what, it's funny because like I can definitely do that, but I find that I'm so tired from Rhinebeck still and from all the flying and all of this that like I'm in some sort of mental fog, and it just like I know I'm gonna make mistake. Like somehow, like I just know that I'm gonna make mistake if I don't have that stitch marker, and it just gives me that, it's like security blanket for me this right now, right? Like I'm sure if I was just sitting home and knitting leisurely, like I wouldn't need the stitch marker, and I would probably find stitch marker annoying. But somehow, like right now, it works as my security blanket to have it.
Yeah, I really can understand. So I was at home doing nothing. That worked perfectly.
Yeah. Okay, Patrick, do you wanna join me?
Hey, I'm the turtle of the group. I'm
No,
still on
that's fine.
clue 1 still.
That's totally fine. And actually, I wanted to ask you, so you've been dealing with a lot of disasters recently in your life, and first it was the fire that made you lose your job because the office got burned, and then your car. How is everything now? Like, how are you doing?
I'm okay. I mean, I'm at my parents' home, and it's nice staying at home and not having too much to worry about. But I'm just kind of taking some mental health time to recover, and that's been okay.
I've been asked by Eva from the Scottish Yarn Festival if she can contact you and maybe send you some yarn to make you feel better. So
that's really sweet.
I gave her your email. I hope you're okay with that.
Oh, that's great. Thank you very much, Irina. That's very kind. Wow. I didn't expect that at all. That was the last thing on my mind, but wow.
I mean, that's the beauty of this community, right? Like people hear your story and they want to send you some yarn to make you feel better. So hopefully.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay, back to clue 1. How are you liking that?
Oh, this is so hard. This is like taking me forever because it's like so back and forth, and I'm pretty fast knitter usually, but this is like so slow for me. And I've been getting a little discouraged, like, another wedge, another thing that, it's like attached to. I'm almost done with stripe 3 of the garter stripes. I got one more stripe, and then the baubles. I think after that, brioche is a breeze for me, so I'll fly through all that. But I think it's just this first clue that's going to be the hardest for me. I think those stripes look interesting, the back and forth. It looks like a lot of knitting, but I think I'm going to go for this tomorrow's clue. I think I'm going to do the biggest possible one. I want this to be the biggest shawl. I want it to be close to like shawlography. That's kind of what I'm aiming for. So
right.
Hopefully he has some interesting clue tomorrow. So
yeah. Okay. So have you been watching the clues like as they come? I was
gonna initially not do any watching of the videos, but then there was some kind of ambiguous thing in the pattern. I'm like, what does he mean by attach this that way? And I was trying to attach these wedges the wrong way. And I'm glad I did watch the video. And then I got curious, and then I clicked through the end of clue 3. I'm like, okay. And I was happy seeing what was coming forward. But yeah, no, I it's not so much a mystery, I guess, this year for me, but I'm okay with that. I'm actually, I like the design, actually. I'm glad he did, after all this suggestive hints by everyone, you know, is he going to do brioche? You know, he actually did it this year. I'm kind of happy he did, because I love brioche. So
yeah, and it's simple brioche, so it's not too complicated. So
no,
I think you're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Hold on one sec. Sabine, do you wanna join again?
Yes, just really shortly about the where does it go? I think it's quite obvious that like the where we started, like the half. Oh, wait a minute. Oh no, I'm fine. The clue 1, I think we're going up somewhere, and I think partially that on the side where we have the I chord, there is a possibility to just stretch this out with the wedges, so that I think it is possible to have a half circle. I don't find it very likely, but it is possible to stretch out the left and the right end of the shawl with something and wedges. So I think it's got my best guess is it's not going to be a half circle, but it's very the initial thing is very long. So I think we're going up from where we started with the half.
Do you think it's gonna like end up being half a circle?
It's possible if you start. I don't know if you can see that if you start picking up stitches on the I chord down to the wedges.
Mm-hmm.
You could actually do something like a triangular thing from the I chord and then go inside and up. So that would make it a half circle. But if he says you can make the shawl as big as you like, that doesn't really make sense. So you'd go out, and it would be like more like a shawl that you wrap around your head, length, like width wide, then height wide. So I guess I think it's I looked at his patterns, and my best guess is it's close to the shape of the resplendent shawl, which is a semicircle, but it's basically a shawl, but it's round to wrap around you. So that would be my best guess, but it's just a guess, and I'm always wrong. So,
okay, Catherine, do you want to join us?
Yeah. I decided in my clue 3 to use a bit more of my mohair in the middle of the contrast color stitches here, just to break it up a little bit more. So for the middle part of each wedge kind of thing, I used the mohair, so it's not self-striping. The mohair is more variegated, just to break it up a bit. I'm about halfway through clue 3, and like Sabine, I'm finding it tedious. Clue 3. I think I've come to the conclusion my brain just doesn't work with this type of switch back and forth, small little sections. I did the glittering snowscape one that was the Hive knit along this year, and that also had a back and forth knitted border, and it just took me so long. I can't memorize it somehow. So not only do I have to flip that stitch marker, but every stitch I have to write down, you know, the number that I've done every single time. And that's why it's just taken me so long to do it. I somehow can't get it to memorize. So after the glittering snowscape, I thought to myself, if I ever do a shawl with a back and forth border like that again, I would switch it to a different border. But I was afraid to do it with this because it's a mystery and we don't know what's coming next in case something would attach to this. I thought I need to just do it like this. So I'm expecting it's going to take me several days to do the other half of these and to catch up, but hopefully I will. So.
Right. I actually really like the way yours look and those matching nails. I mean,
yeah, I did. When I picked the colors, the day we were casting on, I was going to the nail salon. So I thought, oh, I'll do the nails the same. So yeah, thanks.
that was beautiful. Julie, did you wanna? I thought I saw your hand raised, but it's fine if you don't wanna. Enrique.
I want to say I hear about the tedious thing about the border to do, but then you had the things about the shellography, and you had to do the dip stitches or the shrimps. I think that was more tedious than this one because when you get in the rhythm, and yes, use stitch markers, but then it's not that, I think, because it's not that difficult. The tedious thing is like maybe you're bored, but it's not like tedious like you don't like the process of knitting, because I really did like the process of the knitting. That's why I emphasized on the things I said before, that maybe when you are so upset with the stitch count and the mistakes or design features you got, it's the joy of knitting. It's the joy of the festive season. I think we have to think about that, because it's so not important, I think, the stitch count or the tedious things. It's knitting, and you are knitting one stitch at a time, and we all committed to do this every year. I have FOMO when I don't do it. I had FOMO for 2 years because I did the second one, and I did not do the 3 shows after that, but we all committed to do this because it's fun.
Right.
And I just want to say that. It's not that big thing.
It's really
because we come together like this, and I really love it. And I don't think that someone is gonna say to you, "Oh, what an ugly show you made because the stitch count doesn't count up." All the time when I had the show from Stephen West on in public, they never say that. They all say like, "Oh, wow, that's so out there, and it's so not like the things we see in normal life." And I think that's the joy of do this with all this all kind of people, because you are so different from me, but we all do Stephen West MKAL. So maybe we have to get more joy.
Yeah, and
that's my 2 cents.
Right. And it's a good point, because this is something like people will not think that you bought it in the store. People will think that you make it, and it's like you're gonna strike conversations. People gonna notice it.
Yes.
Because
they know we didn't buy this in store, because it's not out there. It's unique, and because we all are knitters and different, it's all slightly different or major difference, but it's the concept of the same show, but it's out there in a different kind of way in the public. So that's why I joined.
Right.
the MKAL.
It's also like it's interesting that even if it's a conversation among knitters, like we can see from each other, right? There is no two shawls that's alike because some people inserted the mohair and some people did 3 different colors and some people added beads and
Oh, the beads you did.
right. Like, so they're all very unique. Even if people use the same exact kit, they all still look different because of how artistic people get with this MKAL.
Okay, I had the kit from Stephen and Penelope, but I also did it with scrap yarn, and I did it with yarn I already had. It all comes beautiful in the end. So it doesn't matter you have a high budget or a small budget or the opportunity to get the kit or not, or the kit from your local yarn store. It always comes out beautiful.
Right. Okay, Julie, do you want to join me?
Yes, hi.
Hi.
I want to say thank you for your amazing tip about the brioche last time, because with the combination knitting, it worked out very fine, and then I was much faster. So I'm here now with my Clue 3, and yeah, it's a little bit long and boring. So then I switch it up with weaving in ends. So yeah, that works, and I really love the colors.
No, it's beautiful.
I think it's just will match with a lot of my outfits. So thank you for keeping me inspired.
I'm glad you're enjoying the process of it, and I actually really like your color combination. I think it's very classy. It's looking beautiful.
Yeah, I did like the this is like the contrast color with the mohair together, because the contrast color is green, but the mohair is like pink. So it becomes like a third color that way. That I like a lot.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing it. So guys, we're gonna this coming Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern, we're gonna have 3 special guests. And I'm not gonna tell you who the 3 special guests are, just to keep it interesting. But you don't want to miss it because you probably know them. I'll just give you a hint that they are YouTubers that you probably watch in your meeting time. So please join. It's going to be 12 p.m. on Saturday. I'm actually going to do that Zoom from my parents' home in Florida. So we're going to get to travel. You get to travel with me. And I don't know if I'm going to finish my Clue 3, so I'm joining Martin and some of you in the Embrace My Pace team this week. But, you know, at least I'll watch the Clue and I'll see where we're going with it. And maybe I'll get to knit like a few rows of the Clue 4. We'll see. We'll see how much knitting I can accomplish on the plane. But I want to thank you all for joining me today. It was lovely to see you and your progress. And as usual, for those of you who are watching it on YouTube and in the replay, just hit that subscribe button or hit the like, leave the comments, tell us where you think the Clue 4 is going to take us. And until next time, happy crafting, you all. It was great to see everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.